Hi, hello, good morning friends, welcome back. Today we will see chapter number 9 from Civics, that is Public Facilities part 2. In part 1 we studied about what is meant by public facilities. The facilities meant for public are called as public facilities. They are specially designed for the general public. It may be public transportation, public healthcare system, public education system, providing safe drinking water system, everything. It is the responsibility of the government. Private companies are also working, but private companies are working where there is profit. Especially for providing drinking water and all, there is no major role as far as the private companies are concerned because they get least profit out of it. But still, the private companies are also working. They are also providing sealed water bottle to the people and they are selling it in the cities. But what about the village people? Village people, they have to depend upon the government for the supply of safe drinking water. We also studied about water supply as well as the problem of Chennai. We covered the different areas of Chennai. The posh areas are always being supplied by the water 24/7, whereas the slum areas are very less, maybe twice in a day for 20 minutes. All these things we studied about. So today we will see more regarding this particular topic, public facilities. Now the first slide says, where does the government get money for public facilities? So every year you must have heard the government budget being presented in the parliament. So the government budget is being presented every year in the month of February, and the Ministry of Finance that prepares the budget for one particular year or for that particular year. Okay, and it allots or allocates certain funds to certain department. This is an account of the expenses the government has made on its programs in the past year and how much it plans to spend in the coming year. You can say it's a type of plan. So this much is the amount that what are the funds that are allocated or allotted for last year and the upcoming plans, and what are the funds that is allocated or allotted for the coming year for various plans. As far as this is concerned, public facility is concerned, the government also have plans different, you can say that 5-year plans. So you might have heard about the 5-year plans. If we see the history, the first 5-year plan was launched in the year 1951 to 56, second one 56 to 61, and third year 61 to 66, like that. And in between there were gaps also because the government changes and all. There were no proper 5-year administration at that time. It had break also, like in the year you can say 1966 and 69, and one more happened like that, that is in 78 to 80. So followed by that was in between, or I can say after 5th plan there was a, you can say, gap. Presently you can say the 13th 5-year plan is going on. It was started in the year 2017 to 22. That is 13th 5-year plan is going on. In that 5-year plan, entire or I can say concentration is given on one particular area. Maybe in the first 5-year plan, as I told you, 1951 to 56, entire, you can say, concentration was given to the production of crops. Okay, and that is why thereby they allotted the money, or thereby we saw tremendous progress, or I can say production in the food supply by providing hybrid seeds, irrigation facilities and all. Okay, like that. And later on the concentration was given to the establishment of industries, like that. In the budget, the government also announces the various ways in which it plans to meet the expenses. The main source of revenue for the government is taxes, and it is collected from the people. Of course, we people are paying the tax. It may be house tax, it may be the water tax, or it may be any tax for that matter. And the government is empowered to collect these taxes and use them for such programs. So we are paying taxes, and these taxes or the money, they are diverted or utilized for the various plans. What is supplied to, water is supplied. It is not what is supplied. It is water is supplied to Chennai. Is it available to all? While there is no doubt that public facilities should be made available to all, recently we see that there is a great shortage of public facility. It may be the schools, it may be the healthcare system, it may be the transportation system, or it may be in providing safe and pure drinking water. Water supply in Chennai, as we saw at the beginning of this chapter, hope you might have gone through that storyboard, is marked by shortages. On simple supply meets only about half the needs of the people of the city on an average. So government is able to supply only half of the crowd. What about the rest? The burden of shortfalls in water supply falls mostly on the poor. Yes, we saw the people, those who are living in the hutments or in the slum area, they get only 20 minutes of water twice a day. The middle class, when faced with water shortages, are able to cope up with the variety of private means as digging borewells or buying water from tankers and using bottled water for drinking. So middle class people, if they are facing any water shortage problem, then they can cope up, they can adjust with the other means also. But what about the poor? They can't afford buying the sealed water bottle. Apart from availability of water, access to safe drinking water, access means reaching or safe drinking water is also available to some, and this depends on what one can afford. That depends. If you have money, you will get safe drinking water. Once again, the wealthy have more choices thanks to booming market in the bottled water and water purifiers. Booming means very बूमिंग हो रहा है, मतलब अभी ये क्या है कि मार्केट इतना उठ रहा है, उभर रहा है. People who can afford it have safe drinking water, whereas the poor are again left out. In reality, therefore, it seems that it is only people with money who have the right to water. If you go to restaurants and all, in some restaurants it is I can say, if you go to 5 stars and all, then even some of the below 5-star hotels also, they are providing, as soon as we occupy a table, they provide with the sealed water. And in some restaurants, they ask for mineral water, sada water. Okay, because they are paying extra for that mineral water, and that's why they are asking for sada water, or I can say they otherwise also they will going to provide it without paying any extra money. Now, in search of alternatives, we now want some alternative. अगर ये नहीं है तो क्या? The situation in Chennai is not unique. A similar scenario of shortages and acute crisis during summer months is common to other cities of India. We have just seen only, or I can say, a situation from Chennai, but it is not limited only to Chennai. It is the situation even in other parts of India. The shortage of municipal water is increasing, being filled by an expansion of private companies who are selling water for profit. On the other hand, it is a profit for the private company because they are providing water, and especially during summer months they have more demand. Also common are the great inequalities in water use. The supply of water per person in an urban area for an India should be about 135 liters per day. In an urban area, per person 135 liters, that is about 7 buckets एक के लिए, whereas people in slums have to make do with this in less than 20 liters a day per person, that is 1 bucket. So if one is enjoying 7 bucket, another have to manage with 1 bucket. Here water shortage, whereas water supply is abundant. People living in luxury hotels may consume as much as 80 buckets of water per day. Those who are living in, or I can say, luxury rooms and all, so they are free to consume, or I can say, the water according to their wish. A shortage of municipal water is often taken as a sign of failure of the government. According to them, private companies can perform better. Throughout the world, water supply is a function of the government. There are very few instances of private water supply. So I think in your textbook they might have given Bolivia country का एक water का problem के बारे में लिखा होगा. So just go through it. There are areas in the world where public water supply has achieved universal access. In few cases where the responsibility of water supply was handed over to the private companies, there was a steep rise in the price of water, making it unaffordable for many. So some of the cases, what happened, instead of government, the private companies have, or I can say, handed over the responsibility, and the private companies, they, I can say, increased the price of water, whereas it was very difficult for common man to afford or to purchase water for his basic needs. So Bolivia country के बारे में दिया हुआ है in your textbook. Go through it. Once again I am repeating this. Within India there are cases of success in government water departments. So in India its a success rate is high, though these are a few in number and limited to certain areas of their work. The water supply department in Mumbai raises enough money through water charges to cover its expenses on supplying water. That means one thing is sure, that for Mumbai people they have to pay, I can say, more for water, because water supply. You people are also staying in GIDC and enjoying the water supply by the government, or you can say the municipality, wherein you are going to pay tax for also that. In Hyderabad, a recent report shows that the department has increased coverage and improved performance in revenue collection. Department means now water supply department. In Chennai, the department has taken several initiatives for harvesting rainwater to increase the level of groundwater so that they can supply, or I can say, this water to all. It has also used the services of private companies for transporting and distributing water, but the government water supply department decides the rates for water tankers and gives them permission to operate. Okay, in Chennai one more option is open now, that is they have now started handing over the responsibility of supplying water even to the private companies, but that tankers price, it is decided by the government only, not by the private companies. It's a tie-up agreement between the private companies as well as the government. Now, extending sanitation facilities, another important public facility. Besides safe drinking water, sanitation must be in prevention of waterborne diseases. So, people are Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So, that is under the sanitation facility. However, the sanitation coverages in India is even lower than that of water. Official figures in 2001 show that 68% of households in India have access to drinking water and about 36% have access to sanitation, that is inside toilet facility within the premises of the residence. Premises means either inside the home, or I can say your house, or within the premises, आपके ही घर के आजू बाजू, मतलब आपका खुद का प्रॉपर्टी के अंदर होता है ना। गांव में तो क्या नहीं होता है, ये टॉयलेट और बाथरूम सेपरेट होता है। सो आपके मतलब आपका ही है खुद का, हर घर का एक टॉयलेट होना, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड। सो अभी ये प्रधानमंत्री का, मोदी जी का ये जो नया स्कीम में हुआ था, नया स्कीम में उसके अंदर हर घर में टॉयलेट का फैसिलिटी का भी है, एंड इट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द हाउसेस इन विलेजेस आर कवर्ड विद नाउ toilet, that is sanitation. And otherwise what will happen, these people will go out, and because of that again many waterborne diseases are or it gives rise to many waterborne diseases also. Then once again it is the poor both in rural and urban areas who lack access to the sanitation. They don't have. We have seen that in slum area for 30 hutments there is one toilet, isn't it? Then how it is possible? Sulabh, so you can say that Sulabh Shauchalay. If I mention a name, Sulabh, you might have not aware. Sulabh is a Sulabh Shauchalay everywhere inside the cities also, or on highways. Most of the time you might have experienced, especially on toll gates, you can experience this. A non-government organization has been working for 3 decades to address the problem of sanitation facing low caste and low income people in India. So they are providing for such people only. Sulabh Shauchalay is established, and you can pay and use. In some cases you can freely use. It has constructed more than 7,500 public toilet blocks and 121 private toilets, giving access to sanitation to 1 lakh or 10 lakh people. The majority of the users of solar facilities are from the poor working class. Solar facility नहीं है, this Sulabh facilities are from the poor working class. So make correction that solar नहीं है, it's Sulabh facilities. Such enters into contacts with municipalities or other local authorities to construct toilet blocks with government funds. Local authorities provide land and funds for setting up services, whereas maintenance costs are sometimes financed through user charges, means 1 rupee, 2 rupee. If you are using, you have to pay 1 rupee or 2 rupee like that. For example, yes, ₹1 is charged for use of the toilets in the cities. यहाँ पर है दो जगह पे मैंने देखा। एक तो होटल प्रतिन उसके सामने और एक ऐसे पुलिस चौकड़ी है ना वहाँ पर, रेलवे स्टेशन के पास वहाँ पर है, और एक है यहाँ पर वालिया चौकड़ी पे। Public facilities relate to our basic needs, and the Indian Constitution recognizes the right to water, health, education, etc. as being a part of the right to life. Thus, one of the major roles of the government is to ensure adequate public facility for everyone. Yes, but shortage in supply of water and there are inequalities in distribution. Compared to the metros and the large cities, towns and villages are underprivileged. Yes. Any solution needs to take account of the important fact that every citizen of the country has the right to these facilities, which should be provided to him or her in an equitable or in manner, equality manner. Okay, that's all for the public facilities. Go through the topics which I mentioned you to read along with the topics which are discussed today. Thank you for listening and yes, listening to me. In the meantime, take care and stay home and stay safe. Bye bye and take care, all of you.